Scully, how are you? Thanks for having me on your show. It's an honor.
Hey, what's up, man? Want to talk a little baseball with somebody who knows a little bit about the game.
Yeah, a little bit. I've been been around people all my life that I've learned a great deal from, and I've always been a student. I've always asked a lot of questions, and I learned some good things along the way.
Want to give some quick information to all our fans out there. You run 3 sessions in South Jersey for the Bobby Woods Annual Shore Baseball and Softball Clinic. The 3rd session starts this Monday down in Sea Isle Little League Fields, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. until noon. How can people get a hold of you if they want to enjoy your clinics?
Yeah, Dave, if they just visit Bobby Woods Baseball or Bobby Woods Sports, they can read about the clinic there. And if they'd like to register, they can register right online by clicking the clinic links at the top of the page. So they could get all the information just by going to either one of those websites, Bobby Woods Baseball or BobbyWoodsSports.com.
Good stuff. So you've been running these for a couple of years now, 42 years.
42 years, yeah. I'm still getting up and doing it. I got to keep moving, right? You can't hit a moving target, I guess.
There you go. What kind of things do you specialize in your camp?
Well, the kids learn about all the positions in baseball and softball, but there's a major emphasis on like fielding, throwing, catching, and hitting. We do a lot of drills in those areas in the early part of the morning, and then we give the kids a refreshment break, and then all the kids are divided up by their age group and skill levels, and they get to play a game and try to incorporate the skills that we teach them through drills and instruction into a game situation. So, and then for the girls, we bring in a special a girl to do softball pitching. And that way the girls get a chance to learn the windmill style fast pitch pitching too. So other than that, all the skills are the same for baseball and softball. So it's been pretty well attended this year. And like you said, I've been doing it for like 42 years and have a lot of great people working for me and a lot of support through the community. So, yeah, it was great. So I got a pretty good background when I was in college at Arizona State. And, of course, playing in the Chicago Cubs organization, I learned a lot of things that I try to apply to the children at the clinic.
Now, your resume obviously is a couple pages long, but we won't go into all the accolades. But wanted to talk about some of my old favorites growing up, guys like Billy North, Vita Blue, Rick Russell, Big Daddy Rick Russell.
Well, yeah, I mean, I played in a 2-year period in the minor leagues with the Chicago Cubs, actually 4 seasons because I played all year round. And, of course, Billy North was my teammate for 3 seasons in the minor leagues. And then he got traded to Oakland. And as you know, in the great teams of the early 70s in Oakland, he was a center fielder. So he actually played on 2 World Series teams. And he led the American League twice in stolen bases. And what's amazing about Billy North, I played with him 3 seasons. He batted right-handed every time. And then when I got up and watched him play in the major leagues, he was batting left-handed. So he learned to be a switch hitter at the high level in the minors or at the major league level, which is pretty incredible. But he could flat out run. And Rick Russell, who started the 1989 All-Star game, if you remember, Bo Jackson hit a monster home run off him.
Sure, yeah.
He, Big Daddy, he was a big dude, but he had a great sinker ball, and he located his pitches real well. And Vita Blue I faced in the minor leagues a year before he won the Cy Young Award. And back then, people weren't running around radar guns like they do today, but I guess he was throwing the 96, 97 mile-an-hour range.
What was that like facing Vita Blue? I mean, a lot of guys younger than 40 wouldn't remember him. I'm about to turn 44, so I remember him as a youngster when I was just getting into Little League. I know my brother is about 10 years older, so he was always like, oh, man, Vita Blue, he's awesome. And I guess I got to see him a little bit in the late 70s there. But
right.
Talk about him a little bit. For young kids that don't know who he is, what an amazing pitcher he was back in the 70s.
Well, you know what? I remember to this day. I guess I was around 21, and we were Oakland back then trained in the Mesa, Arizona. Mesa Rendezvous Park is where they trained. And I remember the manager came in one day, and we were playing Des Moines, which is a AAA team in spring training, and Vita Blue happened to be on that team. And our manager says, we're really facing someone throws hard today. So somebody said, well, who is it? And the guy said, well, it's Vita Blue. And I had really never heard of him, to be honest, because he was only 19, and I was 20 or 21. And but as like Reggie Jackson said about Nolan Ryan, Vita Blue was quicker than instant coffee, really a fast pitch. And then, ironically, a year later, or 2 years later, he was a Cy Young Award winner. Eventually got traded to the Giants. But I believe, this is a trivia question, I'm not 100% sure, but I think he is the last switch hitter to win the MVP in the American League, because Vita Blue is a switch hitter. But so, yeah, he's phenomenal. And Rick Russell was great. Bill Bonham played for Cincinnati. He was a teammate, pitched 10 years in the major leagues. Larry Gurr was another pitcher, a teammate, pitched for Kansas City and the Yankees. So I was lucky to play with some great players and face some great players.
One guy I wanted to ask you about, and I've been a champion of his for years, and it's too bad he gets remembered for that one error in the =86 World Series. Bill Buckner had a tremendous career.
Yeah, he was a flat-out great hitter. I played against Bill Buckner in September of '69 in the Instruction League. He was the Dodgers then. And so Buckner played for L.A. back then, and they were in our league, Instruction League, in Arizona in September through November. Phenomenal hitter. And as you know, with the Met game, I believe it was Game 6, the ball went through his legs for Boston.
Which is crazy, too, because that was his only postseason error of his career. He was an incredible defensive first baseman. But, he was playing on two bad knees. He could barely stand up at that point.
He could hardly stand up during that game. And, that sort of caused him a lot of mental anguish over the years. I think he moved out to Idaho, and he just kind of got out of the limelight, and he took a lot of heat for that. And here's a guy a pure hitter. He would always put the bat on the ball, move the ball all around. He's a great hitter, one of the best.
I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. He's got better stats than about 15, 17 guys that are in the Hall of Fame right now. I'm surprised he's not in. I guess maybe that one error really put a bad light on his career. But when you take that play away, what a tremendous career he had. Yeah,
it's a shame that I don't know how forgiving the Boston fans were about that. Apparently, they weren't.
Not very.
Of course, the Babe Ruth and all that story. The curse of the Bambino, and then they finally won the World Series in 2004. But Buckner's a great player. You can't be remembered for one play. But unfortunately, people still bring it up. Like in the Boston area, they still hold a grudge against them. Apparently.
We're talking with Bobby Woods, Atlantic City High School Hall of Fame athlete who went on to Arizona State and played in the Chicago Cubs organization. Bobby, real quick, I wanted to ask you, for kids who are maybe 16, 17 years old today, talk a little bit about Bo Jackson and what an incredible athlete he was. I was in high school when he was really in his prime, and I've never seen an athlete before or since that is as good as him.
Well, yeah, because Bo Jackson played for the Oakland Raiders as a running back, and he also, I think he came out of Auburn University, and he was kind of like the version of Mike Trout, only that Mike Trout wasn't a football player. But Bo Jackson, like they say, he had all the 5 tools. He could run, he could hit with power, he could throw, he had a strong arm, great runner, and he just hit with a lot of power. He was just a phenomenal athlete. Like, you're not going to see many kids like him come along in our lifetime. Just to play at the major league level and also at the NFL level is just incredible. But then he had that serious hip injury, and his career kind of went on the downside after that. So we really didn't get to see the best of Bo Jackson because he was pretty young when he got injured.
Bobby, who was the best pitcher you ever faced in your lifetime?
You know what? Vita Blue would probably be up there. Craig Swan pitched for the Mets. I faced him in the minor leagues, but when I was 11 years old, to be honest with you, I played for the Margate Little League All-Stars, and at that time, North Pleasantville, we played them. They had a pitcher who, God bless his soul, Will Bush, recently passed away. I was up 4 times. He struck me out 4 times. And then I always think of him first, and then they brought me in to pitch in the extra innings, and I was a losing pitcher. So in 2 hours, I struck out 4 times and was a losing pitcher. And then when Will, of course, he grew up, went to Holy Spirit High School at 18. He got drafted by the Baltimore Orioles. And then he hurt his arm in the minor leagues. But you can imagine a guy that signed a professional contract at 18, how he was at 12. So he was probably the best because he totally dominated me. Where Vita Blue at least grounded out the shortstop, and then Craig Swan hit a home run off. So
there you go.
Those 2 guys. So yeah. And then ironically, when I was in high school, we played Holy Spirit. And they were undefeated, and the bases were loaded. And I was up, and Will Bushman was on the mound. and I think it was a nothing game or 1-0, and I guess my heart was pounding. And anyway, the bases were loaded. It was 3-1. A high fastball I swung at, missed. I really not very disciplined at the plate. Then I blooped one over his second baseman's head for a hit. I think probably the sun got in his eyes, and but I think we got 2 runs and we wound up winning the game. And it was Holy Spirit was actually undefeated. So I played for AC High and we won the game. So later in life, Will and I became very good friends. But
that's awesome.
He just dominated me. It was lights out, So I still think about that. Maybe I need therapy. I don't know.
Bobby, I could talk baseball with you all day, but unfortunately we're up against the break. I appreciate you taking a few minutes. And once again, for anybody who wants to get involved with your camp, go to BobbyWoodsSports.com and sign up. He's got a camp in Sea Isle City this coming week, Monday through Friday. So if you want to learn about some great baseball, get down there. Appreciate you coming on board, Bobby.
Thank you for having me. Good luck with everything. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Have a good rest of summer.
Okay, bye.
That was Bobby Woods, great baseball man. Once again, if you want to get involved with his camp for kids age 6 to 13, Monday through Friday next week, go to BobbyWoodsSports.com. We're going to take a quick break.